Hey guys, so I'm going to be going through questions 5, 6, 7, 10, and 16 of 9.2. So here we have question 5, and you can see we use a number line to solve this question. So if I go over here, I've just answered these questions. So for A, you can see we have two red lines. So we have a positive 5 plus a positive 4, and that number line is ending on the number 9. Now for B, I start at -4. I have add a positive 4, and I end up at 0, which you can see on that number line as well. And then for C, I have a positive 8, and I'm adding a -9. That would bring me to -1. So that's my answers for question 5. For question 6, my number lines look a little bit different, but you can see for 6A, I have -6, and then I'm adding -2. That gets me to -8. For B, I have a positive 6, and then I'm adding a -4. That gets me back to the number 2. And for C, I have -1, but then I'm adding a positive 7 to get me all the way back up to the number 6. Then we had the question 7, and it didn't give us a number line, but it asked us to use them. So first we had 7A, which was nice and easy. It was positive 5 plus positive 5, and that equals 10. Next, I have a -3, which I'm just going to draw on my number line. So here's -3. And then I need to add another negative. So remember, when I add a negative, I end up going to the left. So I need to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would get me -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9. So that's why my answer is -9. For C, I have positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need to add a -10. So that means, again, I need to go to the left. So I'm just going to move over 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can see that would get me to -6. Now the last one, D, I already start at -7, and I'm going to go positive 12, which means for this one, I get to go to the right. So I'm at -7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That gets me to positive 5. So that's my answer for 7D. Then we had question 10. Which says the temperature was -8, and then the temperature decreased by 6 degrees to reach the overnight low temperature. What was the overnight low temperature? Use a number line. So for number 10, I started at -8, but then I went 6 lower, or 6 degrees even lower than that. So that tells me that that's going to be a -6 because we're going lower in our numbers. So I have -8 plus -6, -14 is my answer for 10. Now, 16 was kind of a confusing, or I guess just a lot of different parts in this question. So it says that we have some dice, and they are marked 1 to positive 6. And then on the next cube, we have -1 to -6. So what are the possible totals you can score by rolling both numbers? So I did 16, and I hope you guys had a flashback to a probability unit, because I just wrote down all the possible answers, and then I figured out what their answer was. So I started with the possibility that I would roll a positive 1. And if I rolled a positive 1, that means I could either roll a -1 on the second cube, -2, -3, -4, -5, or -6. If I rolled a positive 2, I could still roll a -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and so on for my 3s, my 4s, my 5s, and my 6s, and then I added them all together. So my total possibility was that I could get the number 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. And for my positive numbers, I could get as high as the number 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So these are all the total answers I got from adding up all the possible equations I could have rolled with those cubes. So your job for today is to correct your math homework. I don't need to know what you got, so you don't have to tell me what you got wrong as long as you're understanding. But please let me know if there's a question that's not making sense to you or a question that you need help with so that I can help you out. Tomorrow I'll post a video explaining 9.3. Thanks, guys.